feelings. It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah.
Hello fellow tenno, welcome to another hellish day on planet Earth. Today I'm going to be talking about brightbonnet, the newest subsume to Warframe, and I don't have a script, so this is going to be awful. Anyway, this ability goes very well with two frames that I'm going to mention today, Mesa and Frost. I'm going to start off with Mesa. I have absolutely no energy sustain on Mesa whatsoever, and I have negative efficiency. I've got a little bit of duration, but as you can see, the energy is draining very quickly. Now, normally, you would need to kill enemies and find a way to regenerate your energy somehow through either Equilibrium or Arcane Energize. I don't have any of that, but I do have mushrooms. Look at it, it's glorious, it's so sexy. Now, brightbonnet will release a pulse of energy every 3 seconds. It also buffs power strength, and this goes extremely well with Mesa. Also, every time you bounce, it also restores energy. Boing. I'm replacing these bad boys down and doing this. And we have infinite energy as long as we're doing this. So not only do we get the infinite energy, but we also get a 58% power strength buff, which is pretty good. Or ability strength. A lot of power strength on this build because that feeds into brightbonnet. So without brightbonnet, we're at 4.41 times. If we add brightbonnet, that will go up to 5.29 times. So yes, it does increase the damage of Peacemaker overall, and also gives us infinite energy sustain, which is really, really nice on Mesa. As for the build itself, I'm using Talforged Topaz Archon Shards for increased secondary critical chance every time you kill an enemy affected by heat status effect, which is very easy on this build because we're running heat on our regulators. There's a few synergies going on here that I'm going to explain in a minute. Let's look at the Mesa build. So we're using Growing Power, which does trigger from regulators. Prime Flow for more energy max. Archon Vitality is going to give us double damage from heat status effects applied by regulators, so it's not that important. You could technically swap this out for something else if you wanted to. Prime Continuity for a little bit of duration. Actually, a lot of duration. Duration is kind of important for this build because you're going to be placing down brightbonnet, and you want brightbonnet to last as long as possible so you can bounce up and down on it and do your thing. With that said, you could swap out Augur Message for something else if you wanted to, maybe even more power strength if you're crazy. That's absolutely fine. It's up to you. I don't know, crowd control with muzzle flash or Mesa's Waltz. Then yes, you can replace Augur Message if you so choose. I like the extra duration for brightbonnet. And then we have just power strength, really. Umbral Intensify, Transient Fortitude, Blind Rage, lots of power strength. Power strength is going to not only buff up your regulators on Peacemaker, it's also going to buff up brightbonnet, increase that power strength, and increase the amount of energy restored. Very nice. Then we have Arcane Velocity. This is pretty self-explanatory, 90% chance for 120% fire rate to pistols. Very good. And then we do have Arcane Hotshot, because I'm running heat on my regulators, which is going to be triggering heat status effects, which means we're going to get Arcane Hotshot stacked up reasonably well. However, this Arcane is a little bit hit and miss, and it's very good when you're playing solo, but if you're playing in a group, then it's a lot less reliable. Especially when you have teammates running around killing everything, you're all struggling and competing for kills. Hotshot does run out quite quickly, and then restacking it is a pain in the ass, so I wouldn't blame you for swapping this out to something else. Arcane Avengers, also not very useful. Maybe you could go for Bellicose, even though you'd only get like 12% power strength. It's, you know, it's not nothing. Arcane Aegis, that's a pretty good option actually for defense if you want to use Arcane Aegis. But I'm going to be sticking to Hotshot because it's good. I like it. It makes me happy. And then, of course, you have Mesa's other abilities. You have Shadow Shield, providing you with 95% damage reduction from projectiles, not melee, or damage over time effects, unfortunately. Shooting Gallery for a little bit of CC, but mostly we're going to be relying on brightbonnet and Peacemaker to just murder everything before they get a chance. So this is what I'm running on the regulators. Pretty standard stuff. Obviously, we want to have as high of a heat weighting as possible so that we can proc heat as often as possible, especially if you're playing in groups. If you're not playing in groups, you could actually take off Scorch for something else, like maybe Hornet Strike or Lethal Torrent or a Bane mod, anything like that, or just more fire rate. Crazy amounts of fire rate from Anemic Agility. If you wanted to put that on, go for it. Personally, I prefer to have a stronger weighting in heat and a little bit more status chance, so I have a higher chances of getting Hotshot to pop. Shut up, Orders. Okay, let's see if I can get Teshin. Let's get a Teshin buff when I'm at it. Oh, activate Shatter Shield, that one. Get brightbonnet down, let's get 2 of them down, and then this is how you do it. I suppose you could use Mesa Waltz if you really wanted to, I don't know why you would want to, because you're going to be mostly stationary doing this. It's a very quirky little interaction. I like it a lot. It's kind of silly. Hot shot's all maxed out. We're getting red crits. Without hot shot, we'd be probably permanent orange crits, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter. This build has plenty of damage. It does just as well. And then recast it. I can actually just put one mushroom down, and that should be enough. So yeah, this build is going to be really fun on things like defense, excavation, anything that requires you kind of to hold still and defend something. This is going to be really good. Infinite energy, you don't need to use equilibrium, arcane energize, nothing like that. Just brightbonnet, which contributes to not only your energy but your power strength. So I really like brightbonnet for Mesa. Goes really well. I need to go collect life support. And that's a lot of loot. That's a lot of killing. That's a lot of death. So yeah, this is a very viable strategy on solo play, solo survival. Again, when you're in a team and everybody's sort of competing for kills, not so much. Your hot shot will probably die off very quickly. I didn't show the regulator build. Shit. Oh, I hate that so much. Bye-bye. So to sum it up, you're getting around 375% secondary crit chance from these Topaz Archon shards, and then you're getting another 300% crit chance from Hotshot, and then of course the crit chance that are on your regulators. Ordis, please. Please. Shut up. Ordis, you've just thrown me off. You've thrown me completely off what I was going to say. So moving on to the next warframe, I think brightbonnet goes really well with, and that is Frost. So obviously my Frost is rank 0 because I put Former into him, but brightbonnet is very useful for Frost, for keeping your energy nice and high, so you can keep freezing enemies over and over again. Brightbonnet is obviously going to be... Carol Baskin, what are you doing? You silly girl. Stop. Get back in your cage, animal. Okay, so Brightbonnet for Frost is going to be very, very good. It synergizes very well with him, especially if you're going to be staying in place as defending a target or an excavator. Brightbonnet is here to sort of give you infinite energy sustainability. This could be used quite well even when you're on the move. You can freeze enemies down, just like that. Moving on to the build. As for Archon shards, well, I haven't actually got many Archon shards on Frost yet. I'm a bit poor right now on Archon shards, unfortunately, otherwise I'd probably put Tower Forge Red in there for power strength. Anyway, Avalanche is going to be freezing enemies as well as stripping their armor. It's also going to be giving us 40% power strength with Arcane Ice Storm, up to 40% power strength and duration. Very nice for Brightbonnet. And then we have Snowglow for defense purposes, and I have kept Ice Wave. It doesn't really matter which one you subsume over here. You can subsume it over Ice Wave if you prefer one, or you can subsume over as one if you prefer Ice Wave. I chose to keep Ice Wave. You'll also notice that we have Icy Avalanche on this build. This is going to give Frost lots of overguard. This is the only defense that we need, really. So we're going to be crowd controlling enemies by freezing them in place, which is going to be giving us 40% additional power strength and ability duration. A very good augment for Frost. Icy Avalanche, which is going to be giving us overguard. Another augment that I'm using here is Biting Frost. This gives Frost gains 200% critical chance and 200% critical damage against frozen enemies. We're going to be freezing enemies all the time with this build. Okay, so with Brightbonnet, we're going to be getting more power strength. This is going to increase that overguard cap. You can see that it's at 38,000 right now. In mission, it will be more like 81,000 after we stacked up things like Molt Augmented and Arcane Ice Storm. I don't know why I have Corrosive Projection. What the fuck am I doing with my life? I don't need Corrosive Projection because I'm already stripping armor. What am I doing? That's probably better. So on the build itself, in the aura, not Corrosive Projection because that's dumb. The aura, really anything you want growing power, because I'm going to be using weapons anyway, so I'm going to be triggering this all the time. It's more power strength. More power strength feeds into Brightbonnet, giving us more energy and more power strength through Brightbonnet. You could argue on this build that you need more range, so technically you could take that off, for example, and then if you have the mod capacity, I think I do, like so. You will drop a little bit of power strength. That's entirely up to you. I don't really like overextended on Frost because it makes Snow Globe mahusive, and I don't really like a big radius on Snow Globe. And we have Primed Flow for energy max, although I can actually upgrade that to a maxed out Prime Flow. What am I doing? My god, man, what's wrong with you today? And then we have Prime Continuity for a bit of duration. Obviously, Arcane Ice Storm is also contributing 40% duration to our abilities, which is going to be very nice for keeping brightbonnet up. But you're going to be semi-spamming this anyway, especially if you're moving, so it's not too much of a big deal. The duration is quite nice for the freeze duration on Avalanche though. And then of course we have Blind Raids and Transient Fortitude for power strength, Prime Sure-Footed, and of course the augments that I've already mentioned. Oh, Ordus, please. Okay, let's go to some gameplay of Frost. Let's put down brightbonnet. Let's do a snow globe to kind of defend myself here a little bit. That is mildly satisfying. That is nice damage. As you can see, our overguard cap is 120,000. That's probably Teshin shenanigans going on, not Teshin. It's probably the Dax. Oh, that would be why then I have double ability strength, yeah. Okay. So as you can see, keeping our energy up is very, very easy. As well as freezing enemies. You could semi-spam this. Energy just keeps going up. Infinite energy. Set down a snow globe every now and then. Keep yourself defended. Move to a new area. Set down some more mushrooms. Spam your abilities a little bit. It's really quite good. Especially on Frost. And then you have probably infinite overguard. All you have to do is keep spamming this. Keep freezing enemies. Extra damage from the augment. That gives additional crit chance and crit damage. It's just pretty good. And I really enjoy this. I very much so enjoy this build. I'm going to call it the Frost Mushroom Frost. That's actually really bad. Frost Mushroom Frost. That's terrible. Frosty Mushroom Man Frost. I don't know. I just work here, man. I don't even work here, man. Not good with names. And then we're going to have good old Acolyte T showing up. Strip his armor. Where'd he go? Thank you. Goodbye. Arcane Ice Storm, stacking up for ability strength for duration, giving us 40% of each. And then Brightbonnet is giving us 100% power strength, which is actually pretty damn nice. As for Overguard cap, it's about 71,000, 72,000, that's not too bad. He's nice. Use whatever you want. Freeze enemies. Boom. That's so satisfying. Well, there you have it. 2 warframes. Oh my god, why are you talking? Stop, please. Be quiet. Shush. Oh my god, I thought I turned you off. Shh.
It's that time again, Drink.
Shh.
It's time for Nora to say goodnight.
Yes, go to sleep. Shh. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video today. I'll see you in the next one. Oh my god.
Operator? Ordus seems to have misplaced those memories.